It's time for some madness.
For as long as man has existed, we've been afraid of what lurks in the dark. The mysteries we can't explain, the noises that make our heart race, the cold breeze on the back of our necks. Horror writers Christopher Brown and NeM create stories born from that darkness. They invite you to join them as they explore the mysteries in our reality. Ghosts, demons, aliens, Area 51, Mothman, Chupacabra, and more. These are just some of the topics you can expect to be discussed on the CRoM Files.
Seems like that intro deserves one of those laughs. That's becoming
The Vincent Price. Wow.
Yeah. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the debut of the CRoM Files. Oh, look at that. Pops is sending us that awesome sticker over on Pill. Thank you, Pops. That looks cool. So yes, like I said, this is the debut of the CRoM Files. Thank you, all of you who are watching this. I want to first off give a shout out to my co-host and fellow collaborator here, Chris Brown. Thank you so much for being a part of this show, Chris. Thank you.
It is my pleasure. We've been planning this one for a long time. I've been stoked to get it going. I can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's no shortage of material to cover either. It's like we could probably be doing this forever.
Oh,
so, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. As you know, I am NeM. You've seen me on NeM in the AM, or you might have seen me for NeM's Gaming Madness. I am the voice behind Taco Feo on Taco Tuesdays and Slaughterville on Thursday mornings with Chris as the GM as well. So you can check me out on all of those shows. And Chris, of course, is the GM, like I said, of that Slaughterville. But beyond that, Chris, you've got some stuff out right now, so let's push that right now. You've got a new book out, right?
Yeah. Jake Bishop, The Fountain of Shadows.
Yeah.
A nice Lovecraftian pulp adventure story where it mixes Indiana Jones and a little bit of a cosmic horror going on.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm pulling that up. We could put that up real quick. I've got the actually I am going to put the link to that in the chat right now, so everybody go look at the chat, and we'll make sure, if not for this show, for the next show, that we get the links to all of our campaigns in there. Because Chris and I both have stuff going on. I currently have Space Monkeys. This is the last weekend for Space Monkeys. Go check that out if you haven't already. That's on Kickstarter. Yeah, I mean, those are just a few of the things we're doing. And, and every now and then we're going to shout out people that we know that have campaigns out. But this is our debut episode. And I don't know about you, but I kind of want to jump right into the mysterious and the macabre. What about you? What do you think?
Absolutely. I'm game.
All right. So let's do that. I got a couple ideas, but first I got to ask you a question.
Okay.
What is, if you had to pick one insane theory or one conspiracy theory or just one paranormal, subject, what is your favorite subject? I mean, this is the one, like, if somebody had to tell you, hey, I'm going to buy you a book for your birthday on something, and you're like, I need a book on this subject because it's something I can always read about. What is it for you?
Wow, that's so good. That is such a good question. That is, because I like so many of them. I'm like, okay, my first thoughts were Younger Dryas stuff, because everything can stem from there. Because I know something happened, but then I go to Anunnaki, and again, flat Earth kind of stuff is just freaky if you think about it.
Right.
Again, I've done all of this kind of research for my game, for the conspiracy game I have coming out, but I'm gonna have to go with shadow government.
Cool. Very cool. So, all right. we're going to have to get into that more because I know this by the name, but I haven't gotten into very deeply into that. Real quick, to just whet the appetite of everybody out there, for a future episode, tell me quick about the shadow government a little bit.
Oh, well, I mean, we all knew Biden was a puppet.
Right.
But this is all about who's running it really in the background, because as George Carlin said, we're given the illusion of choice. Like, you're given 31 flavors at Baskin Robbins, but you don't have any choice in what really matters.
So is this like X-Files stuff where there's like a secret cabal of the masters of the world that are really running everything? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of like the grandfather of the current shadow government, or what is it called, deep state stuff.
Deep state,
so, yes. Cool. I will say that right off the bat, before we even get to that, which we will get to in a future episode, I firmly believe in that. So, it's like to one degree or another, I believe in the deep state and all that other stuff. So judge me as you will. Go ahead. There you go. So, I will say for me, well, before I get to that, there's one other follow-up question to that. You are a horror writer, just like me. You are a creator. Is there a supernatural or conspiracy theory or a supernatural topic that really inspired you to become a horror writer, or that you lean on a lot? It influenced you as a horror writer?
Yes. Now, it kind of started when I was maybe 9 or 10, and I was standing in my my grandfather's bedroom, and I looked out and I saw something flying. But what really sold me was hauntings. That's what started my journey, was hauntings, because I've seen things that would turn me even whiter.
All right. Well, we're going to touch on that tonight. I picked a couple topics tonight, but I'm going to say this right now, folks. Episode 2, we're going to do ghosts, period. Because this one, we're kind of skirting around the edges of that, but it's something else altogether. I'm not going to give it away yet, but we will get to that one. I will say for me, and this is going to be kind of why I chose this topic, because I didn't get a whole lot of time to collaborate with Chris on what topics we were doing tonight. But so I chose 2 that are kind of like near and dear to my heart. One of them really arises from 2 movies that I saw probably way too young as a kid. They were The Exorcist, and then I also saw The Omen, the Omen movies. And so a lot of my writing, especially my horror writing, deals with what really scares the heck out of me, which is demonic possession, in all its different forms. And so, that, if you don't believe in it, it's a conspiracy theory. If you do believe in it, it's something that scares the bejesus out of you, but whatever it is, it's something that is on my mind a lot. It's a topic I like to read about, and it's a topic I like to write about. So with that, do you want to hop into this first topic, which is demonic possession?
Sure.
All right. Let's do it. Oh, we got Ghost Pepper peeing as CRoM there in the pill chat. Thank you, Ghosty. Yes, we will all want to pee on demons. I got a couple of images and some video I want to throw up real quick, and then I want to get your reaction to them, and then we'll get into the actual discussion. Does that sound cool?
Absolutely.
Right. I'm going to say a movie title, and I'm sure you've heard it: The Exorcism of Emily Rose. All right. As you probably know, that's based on a real exorcism of a girl named Annalise Michel in Germany. I'm going to throw this image up here. This is a before and after picture of her as normal, and then her right before she died. Get your reaction to this. She's not looking good.
No, there's definitely something that happened.
Yeah. According to reports, she underwent numerous exorcisms over many years. She was originally sent to a psychiatrist who put her on a number of medications, which supposedly reportedly made the condition worse. She started eating excrement and flies, and then stopped eating altogether. And eventually, she passed away.
Yep.
So, yeah, so there was,
Starvation, I believe it was.
yeah, she was. She just stopped eating no matter what they did. And the
Mhm.
priest and her family were actually brought up on trial, which is the point of the movie, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, because they thought that she should be in medical care because this was all done in her home. So
Mhm.
I got a couple of other ones. Now, this one I'm about to throw up. This is the original uh, band trailer for The Exorcist. You ready for this?
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Something beyond comprehension is happening to a little girl on this street, in this house. A man has been sent for as a last resort to try and save her.
Oh, Pops just brought up a good point. That might get us struck on YouTube, so I'm going to take that down. Hopefully, we didn't air too much of it. The reason I aired that for you and is because that was banned because it was considered too demonic for a movie called The Exorcist. Nowadays, what do you think would happen with the trailer like that? Oh, Chris, you there? Oh, Chris is muted.
I must have hit the darn mute button when the thing. But if that trailer were released today, it would probably be honestly ignored.
Yeah.
That's yeah. I think people are jaded today, and they wouldn't get into the feel of it.
Okay. So I got a question for you then. So I showed you. So these first couple things that I've showed you were instances where Hollywood has seized on demonic possession. Obviously, there's been other movies. I think there was one called The Pope's Exorcist,
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
Last Exorcism, or something like that. All these different things that went on. But there's also been some ones like there was a movie that we watched on ADHD called Nefarious, which I think have broached the subject very well. But what do you think Hollywood's relationship with this whole, let's call it a mystery or a question of demonic possession is, and where it is in our society? What are your thoughts on that? Because there's some people who will tell you it's all bunk. There's some people who insist that it's everywhere and everything. I'm kind of
Mm-hmm.
curious what your thoughts are on it.
My thoughts on how Hollywood takes it, or my thoughts on how the prevalence of it is.
Well, let's start with Hollywood first.
Okay. So. I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna get people, or get me in trouble, but I don't care.
No, go for it.
They have to tell you things. They have to put out what they're doing. That's how the game works. If they don't,
Okay.
even if it's hidden behind some kind of stage play, or in these cases movies, or played off as a joke, like ha ha ha, it's still to them, well, we told you. Now anything that happens, that's on you. So I think yeah.
So do you think that it's an active influence in Hollywood?
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay. But is it, here's the question I would always have. And I'm not going to say that I disagree with you because I don't. Do you think that it's an active influence where, I'm going to go to a different conspiracy theory for a second, but
Mhm.
they're kind of related. Let's take Pizzagate, for example.
Sure.
Or the whole concept of like ball worship and child, that kind of thing that's going on. that is a very active influence where people are, or the satanic cult,
Mhm.
conspiracy theories that are out there. Those are very active influences where people are actively going out there and trying to spread this purposefully.
Mhm.
And then there's the more subtle ones. It's a lot of the stuff that I write about, but I kind of go between the two. But it's like there's a subtle way where it's behind the scenes and it's influencing people, but it's more insidious. So where do you fall on that as far as the way things are going, especially with Hollywood? Do you think it's
Um,
a very active influence or more insidious, like they're being influenced?
well, I know I was chased by them
Hmm.
when I was younger. I actually had some chase after me, but as far as Hollywood and things go, all you have to do is look to Bohemian Grove,
Right.
and things are happening not only in the background, but they're well aware of it. They're active participants in it. Look at sorry, my brain is not working these days, but spirit cooking.
Right.
That's again, those are whole other topics, I know, but it still falls into the idea of whether they're performing things or whether they're the way they're acting, um, acts they're doing is because of they've got to be trying to appease something that's not of the norm.
Okay. Now, for all of you who don't know out there, Bohemian Grove is an actual place. It's up in
Mm-hmm.
Northern California. It's in a very elite club. They try and keep people out who are not invited as much as possible, and it's not just Hollywood. All sorts of elite figures from business and politics and everything are invited to be part of this place, and they have all these meetings. I mean, there are actual business meetings and stuff that go on,
Yeah.
but they also have ceremonies and skits, and there's like a hazing kind of thing to become part of this group. And at the end, they all make offerings to this giant owl,
Mm-hmm.
in the Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's what goes on there. And I'm sure we will get to Bohemian Grove in more detail later. Some
Mm-hmm.
people, including I think Alex Jones,
Yeah.
broke into Bohemian Grove at some different points. So
Yep. One I'd like to also add to it is, and again, I I'm sure you're aware of what Mandela effects are, where things seem to have changed. Like Jiffy peanut butter, they
right,
say doesn't exist, but I know damn well it does.
right,
Same thing with like the Fruit of the Loom logo had the cornucopia, the baskety thing
right.
that existed. I vividly
Pe-
remember seeing it.
People say that didn't exist.
Yes, that they're claiming it never existed. Now, when
Wow.
I think when they turned on CERN, because did you see the rituals they do in front of CERN, in front of
N-
the Hadron Collider?
Now this I don't know about at all. No.
Oh my God, dude, you need to see that. It is the freakiest things. They had an entire
Well, now you got me. I'm going to be
party.
looking for it now. Here we go.
There was an entire party thing that is definitely questionable that was going on at CERN right around when they were turning these things on, and um, either we slipped or somebody else slipped. There's a
Uh huh.
glitch in the matrix, whatever you want to call it. But I don't think at least half of us, are supposed to be where we're at.
All right. I'm going to have to. I can't find it right off the bat.
Mhm.
I'm going to have to make sure I find that for a future show. Um, so yeah, going back to the Hollywood thing for me, what I think, having lived in California my whole life, except for when I went away to school and then when I was in the army, um, seen a lot of people come to California, to make it big here, to come to Hollywood or everything else, and people change. They
Mhm.
change, and I think that it starts off insidious. I think there are a lot of little things, where you make bargains. And then
Mhm.
as you start, and this is one of those things about demonic possession, if you've ever read about it, it's those little things. It's like you start to make bargains, you start to make little sacrifices or of, oh, I would never do this, but then you do it, and then you get some success associated with that, and then it just
Mhm.
continues on and on. And then eventually you're in so deep that you can't get out, and then you're bringing more people in behind you, and then you become an active participant. Um, I have no proof of that, but that's kind of what I believe of what's going on. And I don't think it's just Hollywood either, but
No.
yeah.
I mean, you look at people like Well, you brought up The Exorcist.
Hmm.
Do you know the story about how, like, the one that inspired The Exorcist
Yeah, the little boy in St. Louis. Yeah,
with the Ouija board and all this?
yeah.
Yeah, that kind of stuff can be, I firmly believe, can be a portal to something else.
Mhm.
Because, well, I've known people that it happened to, and I've seen the things that it happened to.
So, if you don't mind,
No,
if it's okay, uh, we're talking about our theories here and our beliefs and everything. And anybody in the chat or anything, um, let us know. But I'd love to hear if you've got some personal stories that you are
mhm,
okay with sharing. I'd love to hear it. So,
sure. I'll save the ghost stories for when we get to the actual ghost one. But as far as this demonic possession or the demonic influence kind of a thing goes,
mhm.
I tried to warn them so many times. My sisters would play with the Ouija board, right? It was just a game, right?
Mhm.
Well, then they started talking to something named Delby, Delby.
Wow.
Now, of course, I naturally thought they were full of stuff back then until one night. Uh, I was going to walk upstairs, and there's my sister sitting at the top of the stairs. I'm like,
Mhm.
what the heck are you doing? You're just sitting there. And it just smiled at you. And then I turn around and there's my sister walking in the front door.
Mm,
And then this thing was gone. Um,
that's
yeah,
creepy.
yeah. But
That's
they swear Delby was known around the house all the time. Now this is after, I'd since moved out before it really picked up, but I don't know if it followed him or anything, but yeah.
Now, I mean, and there's a lot of. I think that's something we're going to probably hit on multiple episodes, but it's really hard, and depending on who you're talking to, there
Mhm.
is no distinction between a ghost and a demonic entity. So depends on what you believe and
Right.
a lot of stuff like that. But there's a lot of crossover there as well, and um, I think it's fair to say, I think we could probably put this down as one of the let's say that when we agree on something so strongly, we're going to create rules of the show.
Exactly.
I'm going to propose a rule of the show right now. You tell me if you agree. There are some things where you're better off just not messing with it just in case. So,
Mhm.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, leave well enough alone.
Mhm.
So that is rule of the show number 1. Um,
And I get a lot of what I'm going to say is anecdotal, but please keep in mind back then we didn't have these magical things called cell phones.
right.
We didn't have anything to take videos or pictures of. Yes, we had cameras, but I didn't back then. So I mean, the things I can tell you is you're either going to trust me or you're not, and that's what I have to do is earn that trust.
That's one of the things, I'm going to back up for a second. I've got a story I want to tell too, but I'm going to back up just in general for a lot of this stuff. One of the things you'll hear from skeptics a lot, and I try and be skeptical in my thinking,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
hardcore skeptics annoy the heck out of me, because they refuse to believe no matter what, or even entertain the idea of belief.
Mhm.
But everyone figures since everyone has cell phones and stuff now, it's really easy to get stuff on video. And
Right.
I would say to people, you go try it. Find your cat or your dog and get them running and try and capture them on a cell phone clearly without blur and in focus and zoomed in. Just
Yeah.
try it with your dog, while your dog's running around the yard or something. It's not as easy as it sounds. Now
Mhm.
add being scared or excited
Mhm.
or startled or surprised into that equation and see how well you do. So it always is what gets me. And skeptics always say, oh, if this was real or that was real, there'd be all this video evidence. I'm like,
Sure.
no, probably not. So
One of my favorite things for skeptics is this, especially when it comes to ghost spirity things. What
mhm,
what is the law of thermodynamics? Well, energy can neither be created nor destroyed.
right.
If we are filled with electricity through the brain, even if they don't believe in the soul, that electricity cannot be simply vanished and disappeared. It has to be somewhere, even if
Mhm,
it goes into another um, object, or if it hangs out, like the spirit ghost thing. From a scientific standpoint, that's the way I look at that.
Right. No, I think that's a healthy way of looking at it. And there's a lot of things, and we could hit that. I'm sure we could hit topics like near-death experience and
Mhm.
reincarnation as an idea, and all of those things to talk about. So,
Well, I got a story for that one.
Ghost says good ghosts exist. Yes. Now I will say, here's my story, and I'm always of two minds on this. And I'm not going to tell you what my two minds are until you hear the story, because I want to hear what your thoughts are on it.
Mhm.
I've had a number of different experiences over the years, but this one I thought sounded good after you shared yours. One night, my wife and I, before we had kids, one of our things was all of a sudden we would decide to go shopping,
Mhm.
late at night. It was like, oh, we got to get out of the house, we'll go. So we decided to go to the mall like 10:30 at night on a Saturday or something. We're walking through the mall. And as we were on the elevator going up the second floor of a mall, and suddenly the two of us together looked at each other. We both felt at the same time, like the cold chill going down our
Mhm.
spines, and a feeling of the fight or flight feeling. And the doors opened up, and there was this guy standing there. Now I'm not a huge guy, but I'm also not a small guy. And,
Mhm.
I know how to fight and everything. This guy was small. He's maybe 5'4", 5'5", not well muscled. I probably, if I had run into this guy, I wouldn't have thought twice about if I need to handle myself, I can handle myself. I kid you not when I tell you that the feeling coming off this guy was one of pure evil. I have never encountered a person where I felt that in their presence before, and I haven't since. And my
Mhm.
wife had the same exact feeling. And we wanted to get away from him so bad, and we got away from him. And then we were walking to our car. We decided to leave immediately. He had gone down to the first floor. He was, when I say suddenly 50 feet behind us.
Hmm.
And everything felt darker and more intense and scarier. And my heart was beating through my chest. She was heart frightened. I got her in the car. I got in the car, put the car on, put the lights on, wheeled out, wasn't there,
Hmm.
gone. And we drove away. That's the whole experience. So I'm going to send that to you. I'm of two thoughts of what it could be. One is the topic we're talking about, like demonic possession. This is
Mhm.
somebody who is actually possessed. There was another thought, though, but I'm curious what your thoughts are on it.
Yeah, that definitely could be somebody who, like you said, maybe either just starting out, or it was something other than uh, a person that was out to see what they could get away with,
Yeah.
trying to save it for YouTube, kind of thing, without saying the words that'll get you banned.
Yeah.
But it's there's a reason that we have those feelings, the instincts of fight or flight. It's because there's things around that we instinctually trained to be cautious of.
Mhm.
And I firmly believe that that's one of them, because it was more prevalent back then.
Yeah. I can honestly say I have never felt that way in the presence of another person before that or since. It's not like I'm going around panicking like that all the time, and it
Mhm.
was sheer panic. Now, the other thing that I thought, there are times when I think about it still to this day, and this happened over 25 years ago.
Mhm.
Um, there are times, fleeting thought, where I'm like, I don't know that I really believe in this. In fact, I'm going to say I don't, but there's a corner in my mind says, if there were such a thing as a vampire,
Mhm. Mhm.
that guy could have been one. So,
Yep.
I'm not saying that I believe in that, because I really don't. But if,
Except for Tom
so
Cruise.
yeah, it was that disturbing. It was really, really
Mhm.
one of those things that I have never forgotten, and my wife hasn't forgotten it either.
Yeah.
And the weird part is the two of us, still to this day, know exactly what the other one is talking about when we talk about it. It hasn't faded over time. So
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, it could have been something like, and again, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Black-Eyed Kids.
yes,
It,
yes.
it could have been something similar to that.
Mhm.
Skinwalker style, right?
Ooh,
Where because
yeah,
they radiate that kind of paralyzing fear in order to get you to, well, be more compliant.
yeah.
I
Eh,
wonder honestly, and I'm not trying to poke fun or nothing. I honestly wonder how the situation would have gone if you'd been alone, because
yeah,
you didn't then have someone else to say or keep you more grounded.
yeah. Well, I will say, I'll share one other story if that's cool with you.
Always.
There was a time, my wife went to a small Catholic school, Catholic university in upstate New York that was near where I went to school. And I
Hmm.
was visiting her one night, and this is kind of a ghost, but it might not have been a ghost. Literally that night, we got the same kind of feeling, but it wasn't attached to a person, but it was just a feeling of impending dread, like there was something lurking. And she asked me to stay with her. And
Hmm.
I actually called into my company, my military company, and told them I wasn't going to make it back, and stayed there because I could feel it too. But it was the weirdest thing because it was like there was nothing tangible you could put your finger on it. There was no reason, and it's not like of the two of us, my wife is probably more grounded than I am. So it was a strange situation. So, oh, you there? Oh, there you are. You're back.
Okay. I don't know what the
Yeah.
heck happened there.
Yeah. It's the demonic possession. They come for us.
I
So,
know the ghost in the
uh,
machine. It's the CRoM in the
yeah,
machine.
yeah. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, there was this situation though. It was just a situation where you could almost feel it, like it was on the edge of your consciousness, of your
Hmm.
spirit. Like there was something lurking, and it was just like, if I care about this woman, I can't leave her alone here tonight. And it's not like I stayed there for us to fool around or,
Hmm.
anything
Hmm.
like that. It was literally she slept and I watched. That's
Yep.
what was going on. So, just a very weird situation.
And
And
again, to bring it into more practical, um, but and I hope you understand. I'm not trying to play down or anything. But when I hunt, okay,
right.
it's
Hmm.
something I like doing. But if you're out in the woods and things, and you feel that, I know something is wrong, something's
Hmm.
watching. Chances are, something's watching you, because it's either in the bobcats nest in trees, right? They'll sit up in trees and watch for prey down bottom. You could be stalked, just like there with your incident. You could have felt that something was around, or something was there that you needed to be vigilant
Yeah.
for.
And deep down, like you were saying before, we have those animal instincts that we
Hmm.
have kept. We are civilized now, civilized
Hmm.
quotation. But those instincts are still there. They're still part of our DNA. So it's what allowed us to survive as a species. So,
So now I'm going to throw something crazy at you, and this
okay,
I'll admit, this is just something I'm coming up with now. It is fully crazy. Do
okay,
you think I'm Gen X?
right.
Okay, old school Gen X. We were out in the woods. We were out learning about, not these things in particular, but we were honing those kind of instincts. Do you think these days the invention of social media was done to dull people down, to make them more um, or less aware of their surroundings, so that
That's a
they'd be more susceptible to things like this?
that's a really interesting idea. I don't know how much purpose I could put behind it. I'm always like of two minds of that. It's kind of like what we were talking about with the Hollywood and everything, where
Hmm.
I'm always not sure how much genuine purpose there is in there versus uh horrible happenstance where we come up with things that are just not good for us and leave us vulnerable,
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
know? And I could definitely see that with the social media. I mean, so many kids today, one of the things I'm going to sound like I'm Gen X as well, and I'm going to sound like an old fart here, but I'm just going to put it out there. Sabrina Carpenter. I don't know if you know that name.
Yeah.
She's a pop singer, and she was
Yep.
on the new Muppet Show recently.
Mhm.
So I was kind of curious. I was like, I found out she had been on Disney, and so I was looking, I was like, well, what has she done? So I went to look for her music, and she's all over social media, and
Mhm.
everything she does, she's wearing garters and sex clothes, and everything she does, she's making sex poses and
Mhm.
stuff. And every show, I hear tons of little girls screaming for it and following her on social media. And then I look at what's out there. Our kids are just taking this in and consuming it because
Yeah.
it's blasted at the full speed. And no matter how good you are as a parent, it's hard, unless you cut them off from everything, it's hard to
Mhm.
keep them from it. And I'm like, what is this teaching? I mean, her music is specifically targeted at tween girls, you
Yep.
know? And she's sitting there doing sex poses. They've even got a name for it. It's called a Juno pose,
Hmm.
based on the movie Juno, which is about having an abortion.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is the message here? And the message is so easy to get out, no matter who's coming up with it, because of the invention of this thing, social media. So
Mhm.
yeah, I hear what you're saying. So, and that's just
And
one small example. So
yeah, that's not even getting into the Nickelodeon, the darker side of Nickelodeon, for God's sakes,
yeah,
which is a whole other topic for a whole other show. I know.
yeah. But it is, I mean, it's really, so it's like, it's hard for me to say, to put an animus behind everything. Is there something driving all of it? I mean, that's the kind of stuff I write about in some of my books and stuff.
Mhm.
Um, Part of me wants to say, no, that's just fiction,
Mhm.
and leave it there. But I don't think I can honestly say that. I can't say
Yeah.
one way or the other, but I definitely can't say it's definitely not, So
Let me ask you this.
yeah.
I don't want to say. Okay, the book was heavily Catholic leaning. Okay, I don't know if your religious preferences are out there, so I don't want to put them out.
Uh, they are, but I'll put them out of there again. I am Catholic.
Okay.
I am practicing Catholic. I've always been practicing Catholic, but I've come back to my faith more in recent years. So, but yes, I am a Catholic.
Yes. One of the things I remember, because I studied Old Testament and New in college.
Mhm.
One of the things I remember, and I could swear I remember this, that Satan was given dominion over the earth.
I remember that.
So that could be why we have so many of these influences around here, is because, well, it's his place now.
Interesting. I think there's a couple different ways. I mean, that's a really religious topic, and I wouldn't mind getting into it, but I think there's a couple ways. I hear what you're saying.
Mhm.
I think a lot of that is, there's a couple different ways to interpret that, but
Yes.
definitely more prevalent here.
Mhm.
What I always find interesting, and this is, I don't know if we could get into it on this show. Maybe we can. We could talk about it behind the scenes, but I've
Mhm.
always been one to find it interesting, the comparisons between Christianity and what we believe and like other mythos.
Oh,
And
yeah.
when you start to like plug them in, you can start to see some similarities. And, as a good Catholic, you're not supposed to do that. I'm telling you right now, but yeah,
But I mean, look at Noah's flood alone.
yeah,
There's flood myths in, which gets me back to the Younger Dryas thing, but there's flood myths in just about every culture that happened at the same time.
yeah,
Um, Now they attribute it to different things, but it's the same event.
right,
So
right. Well, and you look at, you were talking about, and I remember that line. I don't remember where it's specifically from, but he was given dominion over the earth, and stuff like that. But you look at the god Hades,
yep.
who is given dominion over the earth, the god of the underworld. Is generally considered an evil god, in Greek
Mm-hmm.
mythology, or at least not one you want anything to do with. And he's got a hellhound, called
Yeah.
Cerberus, and all these things. So it starts to get you can see a lot of things kind of lining up,
Mm-hmm.
and you're kind of wondering, oh, well, what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I've got a couple other things before we move on to another topic. I want to show
Sure.
you some. Now, another thing with this demonic possession, a lot of times, a lot of people will say demonic possession is an antiquated term, and it was
Mm-hmm.
all mental illness. Now, I agree that a lot of people who presented in the past as demonically possessed had mental illness.
Yes.
I'm going to show you some examples, and we're going to play a little game. Real, or we could choose real, or we could punt on it and just say, you could say, no, I don't know, or we'll say mental illness. And I think I've got 3 examples. So the first one for everybody. Yep.
Before we do that, understand, I don't know, again, I don't know what you know about yours truly.
Yeah.
2 of my degrees, because I have a few different degrees. One of them is in psychology. My master's is in mental health counseling.
Okay.
So when I say that I still believe some of these happen, but yes, absolutely, some of them are cases of schizophrenia, epilepsy, and so on. I understand.
Okay, cool. Are you comfortable with this then before we do that?
Yeah, will I be right every time? No, because I'm not perfect.
Right.
But I love the game. I'll play the game.
Okay, here we go. This first one for everybody out there. This is actual footage from the case that inspired the movie The Conjuring 2. So here is this little girl, Janet Hodgson.
Yeah. I'd like to know how you make this noise without bashing Janet's vocal cords to pieces. If I do it for half a minute, I get a sore throat.
Goose chases here.
And we found on analysis.
So, Chris is frozen again.
God, I hate when that happens. I really do.
Right.
Sorry.
Were you able to see the video?
Yeah, I've seen it before. I'm very familiar with the video. Yep.
Okay. So I got to ask you, and then I'll give my answer. What do you think? Do you go demonic possession? I'm not sure, or mental illness with that little girl doing that?
Well, I know they only showed that clip, and I get why we do that, but there was a lot more with her involved than just this. So again, I might be cheating a little by knowing more, but I don't think that was just simple mental illness. Again, could I be wrong? Absolutely, and I fully accept it, and I don't have any feelings of pride by being proven wrong. But that's the way I went with that one.
Absolutely, and I'm going to agree with you. I would say if I had to give an answer, which I do, I would be between I don't know and possession. So can I prove it she's possessed? No. And that's kind of the point a lot of times. But I don't think that's mental illness, especially since that little girl never had that before or after. So
yeah, I know they said that she admitted to faking some of it.
Yeah.
But I can't prove that she wasn't coerced to say that she faked it in order to get the family out of the spotlight.
Yeah, or that she said, or the thing that has always occurred to me, I've read a lot about this case, is that she said she faked it just to get someone to listen to her, and or she faked it to get someone to listen to her and help her because of everything she was dealing with. So
yeah, But if you listen to that voice again, that voice just never sat well with me.
No.
Just
and there are a lot of videos out there like this where there are voices coming out of people that just I know there are a lot of talented people who could do voices, but that doesn't seem like that. So yeah, you froze up again. Ugh.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. No
but
problem.
yeah, no, again, I could be mistaken, but that one I'm going to lean more towards there were aspects of it, even if they did fake part of it.
Yeah, definitely. All right, I'm going to save one other one for last. So I'm going to go to this one. I still am not sure about this. I only very recently saw this. So there's Ghosty. Yeah, Ghosty says man was given dominion first. All right, let's check this out. You know, actually, I am sure about this one. You tell me if you think this is fake, you don't know, or demonic possession. So.
Desce aí agora, mulher, em nome de Jesus, vai! Olha-me Deus, olha a mulher subindo na parede, em nome de Jesus Cristo, solta ela, demônio!
That's out of Spain, by the way.
Okay.
And let's see. Acres of Movies said, what's your favorite between Mothman Prophecies and the Omen one? Interesting.
I like Mothman because he's more of an omen himself of bad things coming.
Yeah. I think Omen is really built on a combination of the Book of Revelations and the idea of the rapture and most Protestant religions. So,
which is still fun. Don't get me wrong, still fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah. So that video, I know what my thoughts are, and I actually have there is a definitive answer for this one. So I'm not trying to do a gotcha. I'm just curious to see what you have to say on this. So
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
It looked too. I used to be able to do that kind of stuff when I was younger and not fat. It doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't seem right.
Yeah. This is from a church in Spain. They're like famous for doing this kind of stuff. It is an actual church. And I brought this one here because I think this is part of the problem with conspiracy theories in general is there are a lot of people out there trying to get clicks, likes, notoriety, fame, whatever, and faking stuff. This one, I have done a lot of stunt work and stuff like behind the scenes. I've not been a stunt man, but like a lot of that stuff I know about and everything. This is all CGI and wiring and stuff like that. It's completely fake. And I would have to see, as you know, I'm not a hardcore skeptic, but I would have to see this in person for me to believe it because it just looks fake. So let's see. Acres. Let's see. Thanks. That's why I say those, Chris. Okay. I have a lot of experience with this shit. I've seen those that are possessed, been damned to be that. Cool. Yeah. You know, if we're just starting off. This is our debut show, but I'm sure, we'll welcome guests on here to talk about things as well. So the eyes show panic, then they become. Which one is this? The first one we were talking about, or people that are possessed in general? So,
in general. Yeah.
Okay.
But that is something that I've noticed a lot in more. Either they go into panic when the person realizes that this is happening to them before, or you know how when we smile, we also smile with the eyes. When they say that, and if you've ever actually been around someone where they don't smile with the eyes, and I know it can be psychopaths do that as well, but that is a freaky experience.
This is interesting because I have heard this as well. This comment from Acres of Movies that focus on running endurance. I wonder if that's because when you run, it focuses you to focus inward, and it also creates endorphins and stuff. So it really focuses the mind and spirit together as one. That's interesting.
Yep.
All right, this last one, I'm going to tell you right off the bat because my first thought when I saw this was that this is fake. I did some research before bringing this.
Okay.
This video is absolutely real. The guy you're about to see died. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to throw it up there.
Was just cooking until this terrifying moment happened. This footage shows a chef getting possessed while on the grill. Watch closely.
So, I did my research. It's real. Like I said, the guy did die. Without knowing more, though, I'm curious, what your thoughts are. I know what my thoughts are, but I'm curious what you think.
Yeah. Was that a recent one? Because I don't remember hearing about this one.
It's within the last 5 years, from what I could tell.
Oh, wow. Okay. The face looked off. I can't honestly can't tell if he was heavily drugged because he just looked slack.
Right.
But did he? Okay, because the way video was, did he actually dunk himself twice, or was it just a single dunk?
It was just a single dunk. They did
Single
the video.
dunk,
So
okay.
he was, for a few moments, he's in front of the
Yes, with the-
prior, kind of going back and forth and having jerking motions. And then all of a sudden, he kind of, his body stills, he throws his head back, and then he just puts his head in the fryer. So
Yeah. I mean, again, that can be,
could be like epilepsy or narcolepsy, really bad narcolepsy.
yeah,
So,
or the fentanyl bends,
yeah. I didn't think of that, but that's a good one. Yeah.
because that could have been an accidental, and he just either he dosed himself with it, or somebody else dosed him, and he just went into the bend pose, just happened to be over the fryer. But I mean, I know it's a stretch like frickin' Stretch Armstrong. I get it, but that's I can't say that is, only because I'm not sure.
But I think this is the thing, and this is kind of the thing, and I love that we're having this discussion, because you and I think, are both open to possibilities. But you have to have a skeptical, rational mind about the irrational.
Yes.
So one of them we've looked at and we're like, no, probably, I'm going to say 95, 98% no. One we were like, I don't think so. I think that looks pretty sketchy.
Yep.
Like it was something bad. And then this one right here, it's like, it could be that, or it could be a medical reason. I think this goes into a really sad situation, though. So
yeah, unfortunately, if it would have been more than just those unfortunate few seconds, like if I knew what happened to him the 30 seconds before, obviously the 30 seconds after he was part of the Krusty Krab there, but if I knew about the 30 seconds before, like if he was acting normal and fine, and then this sudden snap happened, that could still be mental.
Right.
I don't know his history. He could still be having a break. But I'm gonna say I don't believe that one was only. I can't without more evidence.
Yeah, you would need a lot of background on the guy, what was prior. See, and I think, now that we're talking about it, I got to agree with you, because everything that I understand about demonic possession, it's not like something's going to hit you all of a sudden, take you over, and make you kill yourself. So
Exactly.
They'd
be more willing to use you as an influence for others.
Right. So I think that's a really, really good idea. So, all right. Before we get to the next topic, this is a little snapshot real quick. This is the snap answer segment. That's what I'm going to call this segment. I'm going to throw an image up here, and I'm going to tell you what the theory is behind it, and you just give me the first thoughts off the top of your head. You ready?
Beautiful. I love it.
This is a shot from Haifa. I think it's Haifa, Israel. Jeffrey Epstein's still alive.
Oh, yes. There's no doubts. Epstein is still alive. It's not even counting his Fortnite account being active.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I firmly believe he's still out there.
I think that there's a definite possibility of that. And mine goes even deeper. I will say that the reason why no one has been prosecuted in the Epstein files or all these people is because the first thing that the defense would do is bring up the fact that Jeffrey Epstein is still alive.
Yep.
They would find someone to investigate it, and then it would be a whole mess. So, that's
why Maxwell doesn't talk.
Yeah. So, interesting. That is definitely one we're going to have to get back to. Go ahead.
Because let me ask you this one. Do you think they stopped doing what they did simply because he died?
No. Someone else is facilitating it. Yeah.
Whoever was above him, or he's still doing it behind the scenes. You're just not allowed to know he's alive yet.
Yeah. My only question is, who is he really working for, and how deep does it go? So.
But you and I can buy Little St. James, Epstein Island.
Oh, great.
It's up for sale. We can buy it.
Good. Well, we wanted a place where we could do conventions. I'm joking.
No doubts.
I'm joking.
You want to talk about a haunted place? I would
Yeah.
love to go there just for that kind of thing alone.
Yeah. Okay. Next, we are going to go to another subject, and this is what we're going to wrap up on. So, until we have to get out of here or we're done. So, I know that we have another show in about an hour, but we'll see. I am enjoying what we're doing right now, though. So, this next one, I'm sure we will get to. There's a lot of different things we could do with this. But this is the subject of UAPs or UFOs, as they used to be called. Let's look at a few videos first, and then we'll get into this, and then we can put some more stuff up a little bit. So this is the famous one. I'm sure you've seen this. This is the footage of the Tic Tac UFO.
I love it.
Echo 61 Tango Project, over. Roger, there's troubleshooting.
Did you box moving target?
602.
No, I took an auto track. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow.
So that was obviously captured by a U.S. Navy pilot right in my neck of the woods off of San Diego, in international waters. And I've shown you that one to show you this one. I think this is the right one we want. This one is even more. This is another military one. So I think this is the one I want. Check this out.
Is of an MQ-9 drone tracking an orb, or this object, off the coast of Yemen. You'll see that another MQ-9 launched a Hellfire missile. This is when it zoomed out. So you can still see it traveling.
So 2 military incidents. And I can tell you anecdotally that I've had many different careers. One of them was as an Army officer, and I helped develop ballistic missiles, or missiles to shoot down ICBMs. That was my last job in the Army. We would pick up anomalous UFO or UAP readings on our radar all of the time. Doesn't mean there were actual UFOs or anything, but I will tell you, we did it all the time. So that said, let's leave aliens off the table. Let's go with UAPs. What do you think of those 2 pieces of evidence and the idea or the phenomena of UAPs in general? Man-made, you're not sure, or something else? So,
sure. As you said, we know things more than what we usually let on. But as far as UAPs go, unidentified aerial phenomenon, anything to me that I can't identify in the air would be one of those, right? If I took a stealth bomber back to when they only had the what was it, Spitfires or whatever, right, they would see that as a UAP. They couldn't identify it. But I need your help only because I don't know how fast that thing was going. Did they say?
I did watch the testimony of this pilot, and he said that he got there was going like 4,000 kilometers an hour or 4,000 miles an hour. So hypersonic speeds.
Okay.
And then they also said, the pilot said that it was making maneuvers that were impossible with aircraft, in his opinion. So, so this is a military pilot. So.
And again, they're not known for irrational thinking. Right, they're not going to fly off the handle and just make assumptions. Like even when they were looking at it, they were calm. I mean, they were laughing about it, of course,
right?
But they were calm and collected about it, so they weren't panicked. They just knew that there was something there that they didn't understand. Is it anything is possible,
right?
But I don't know of anything that we can do that would. Be able to do those maneuvers and bank, because the G forces alone would tear your face off. Now, could it be an unmanned drone kind of a thing where it's not going to care about the G forces? Possibly, but without more evidence, I can't say for 100% sure what it is. Do I believe that there's the possibility of other things patrolling that we're not aware of? Yeah. Talk to me about the Black Knight satellite, that kind of a thing. Yeah.
I mean, I will say that this is one subject that I have lots of incidences, or lots of experiences with. Even as a little kid, I remember we were driving home through the desert one time. And of course, here I will preface this by saying I lived, especially when I was a little kid, in an area where there were tons of military bases. Okay. But we were driving home through the desert and we saw 2 glowing orbs that were, I'm not going to say fighting each other, but going at each other at high speed, and they would stop and then go up, down, sideways. I mean, they were doing things that as a kid I knew were not possible, So I mean, and I saw that as a kid, and then, like I said, I've seen the things on radar. And one of the reasons that I wanted to start with the military is that I know from my time in the military and knowing people all throughout the military that there are all sorts of people. We see all sorts of stuff. Same with police officers, and we never report it or didn't in the past because that was a one-way career ender. So same thing with like airline pilots and stuff. So
like I have seen that same kind of deal where it, like I said, when I was in my pap's bedroom and that thing just went up sideways and then was gone. And I, again, anecdotal completely, I get it, but a buddy of mine was in the military intelligence stuff, and he was doing radio signals and got a response.
Wow.
And that's what he told me. So do I think something is around that we're not aware of? Absolutely. Will I say it's outer space aliens? I can't until I see it.
Now, one of the things that I will say, and I'm curious what your opinion on this, is that UFOs, maybe more so than any conspiracy theory, and I use that word just as a general catch-all, phrase, put all this stuff under, but UFOs really suffer from a lot of people who fake stuff for attention.
Absolutely.
And so it is really, for the ones that are deadly serious about what they've seen, it's not easy to break through all that noise. So
add to it the prevalence now of AI, and you can fake anything, so that's going to make more modern, quote unquote, evidence be almost unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's all I was going to say. Is it's going to make it more difficult in order to determine what's real and what's not.
Well, here's one. This one is fairly new, and I'm going to put this up here for you.
Sure.
You know how the skeptics are always saying they want clear video footage and everything? This is something somebody caught on their phone while sitting on an airplane. Evidently, according to the person, from what I could find out, 2 other people said they saw it. But this person caught it on their phone, and the skeptics are saying this is too clear. It's too good. And it's fake. So I've watched it with my, a little better than layman's eyes, and I can't tell if it's obviously AI or CGI. If it's CGI, whoever did it is really good and should be working for Disney. So, but I'm going to throw this up there. I'm going to get your opinion of it.
Something about that last move didn't sit well with me.
Okay.
The shine was fine. I don't know. Something about that last move didn't sit with me, but I can't say.
It's that uncanny valley where you don't know what it is, but you know it's something.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I hear what you're saying, because I'm like, man, it looks like it could be real,
Mm-hmm.
but
But then there's one or two little bits that.
yeah. But here's my question for you. I showed you that. I've got a plan. I love it when a plan comes together. I showed you that to ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
Is it almost impossible to prove something at this point? Even if you actually ran into it. Let's say you walked out in your backyard and Bigfoot was sitting there smoking a stogie, and you took a photo of him or a video. I mean, you got a selfie with Bigfoot, you know, and you threw that thing up on the internet. Because with everything that we have nowadays, is it almost impossible to prove any of this?
Yeah, it really is, because again, that's AI.
Yeah.
That's all anybody's going to say. Even if you have, as they said, not unlike the Patterson Gimli film, where it was, I'm sorry, where it was grainy.
Yeah.
People are more likely to believe that because it was on older technology than something newer today that I can do with my phone and with a Snapchat filter, you know, see something else around.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it's very difficult unless, again, you have to build up your reputation as somebody that's honest, but I think a single person taking the picture would definitely be, those that want to believe it will, those that are skeptical won't.
Yeah. Hey, I sent you a private chat. Check it out real quick. So.
Yeah, I'm all good. No, I just swallowed wrong on the soda and I had to cough.
I just know that you've been through the paces the last couple of days. I want to make sure.
Yeah.
Cool, so.
Yeah.
All right. I got a couple more I wanted to show you. I don't know if I'm going to throw this one up here, but I'm just going to mention it by name. Are you familiar with the Rendlesham?
Yes, Rendlesham Forest incident.
Yeah. Now, for everybody out there who doesn't know, go check it out. It's also called Lakenheath. I think that was the name of the base, the Air Force base. This was back in 1980. There's a long audio of a colonel. I've got some of it. But he saw a bunch of stuff with several other MPs, and they saw it on 2 consecutive nights, no less. I've seen many interviews with this guy as well. Now, you were talking about, do you trust them?
Yes.
This guy's been ruined, but I trust him. What is your opinion on that whole incident?
With it, how do I say? Because when he touched it, went home, wrote down everything in binary code, right? I don't recall him ever stating that he was a computer programmer, or especially again back in the 80s, he would have been.
Right.
It's not as prevalent as it is these days. So I think there's some truth to it.
Yeah. It's the same thing with is it Travis Walton, who was abducted in Arizona? They made a movie out of his story called Fire in the Sky. It's like, I don't know what happened to him, but I'm pretty sure something happened. So, you know, it's one of those situations where, and one of the reasons I believe that is I look at what happened to that colonel, and other people have come forward. I look at what happened to Travis Walton. They haven't gotten rich off of it. They haven't gotten, they've become infamous more than famous. You know, it didn't help their career. They make a little bit of money going to like UFO conventions or something, but it's not like they're rolling in dough. So I'm like, what was the incentive for them to lie and then keep up this supposed lie for decades? You know? So I do think that is something that you have to like look into when you're trying to evaluate stories and stuff. So. All right, I got a couple other for you, and these are going out. I'm going to do 2 more. These are going out to Pops, though. Pops is out there. These are both from his neck of the woods. Now, the first one is much more famous, and I'm going to throw this up there and then give a little backstory for all the viewers out there. And I want to see what your thoughts are on this incident. This is from 1990 something. I don't remember. Above Phoenix. It's called the Phoenix Lights. Actually, I played the wrong one, so this is a different one. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
All right, that one is. We're gonna go back to that. That's from 2015. It's something called Sunny Slope, which is also Phoenix. Here's the Phoenix lights. Oh no, I've got the same one twice. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Give me a second, folks. We're having technical difficulties. Bear with me. Yeah, here we go. That's it. All right, I found it. Here we go. Phoenix Lights. Now we got it. Original VHS. VHS 1997.
What I'm looking at here is a light on South Mountain. You can see this light flickering over our mountain over here.
So you got obviously a,
now we're
a
looking at a
radio
light that's
tower
now
up
appeared
there.
again. It's come out in a different place. Definitely far away. South Mountain. There's two of them.
Yep.
There, we finally hit Pater. Now we've got two of them in the sky on South Mountain. South Mountain. Figure this one out. There's a double. There's a third one.
FET.
Yeah.
Hey, Sue. All right, you tell me what it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this video goes on for a while.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and kick that off. By the end, there's quite a few lights.
Yeah.
So first off, I'm going to tell all our viewers that the official government explanation eventually was that it was F-16s doing a nighttime exercise, and they were dropping flares that are supposed to, take or be decoys for heat-seeking missiles. The governor of Arizona came out, I think the next day or 2 days after this, and did this whole thing where he put on and had one of his staffers come out in an alien mask and made fun of it and said we found the person. But here's the interesting thing for everybody, and then I'm going to go to you, Chris. A few years ago, I think this was 2018, the National Press Club had a conference on UAPs and UFOs. That same governor came up and said that he was encouraged to downplay the incident and that he doesn't know what it was, but he believes that it was UFOs. So my question for you is, when stuff like this happens, Chris, what are we supposed to believe? And are we supposed to believe it's a giant psyop or what is the situation? So
I'm going to answer that question with something I actually honestly explained to my kids not too long ago.
Okay.
And I thought it was an important lesson, and I may be way off base. What are the two root words in the word government? Govern and meant, right?
Right.
What is govern?
Oh, government is to rule over or to have authority over. So, yeah.
Right. Govern is to control. Meant is the root word for mental, like mentalist, mental, which is the mind. So government is there for controlling the mind.
Okay.
So I think that they put things out, or will, like with that, the mayor making a joke of it, to control perception.
Okay.
Just like with the fake binder on the Epstein thing.
Right. Now, the thing that gets me about this, and this kind of goes to going back to the beginning of the show where you're talking about one of your favorite conspiracies is the shadow government.
Yes.
You know, my question for that governor, and he probably doesn't know the answer, is who was encouraging you to come out and make fun of it? Why do you feel comfortable about saying it now?
Yep.
What has happened since you've come forward and said that? You know, it's like there are all sorts of questions. This is where I think our media fails us, because those are the obvious questions that need to be asked. You know, it's like, why did you lie then, or are you lying now? You know,
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and as far as the lights go, yeah, there's something to them. They did not behave like flares, not to me, because I've seen the flares drop and they leave a trail, right? They don't sit there and hang out for 10, 15 minutes.
Right, because they're on little chutes. So, yeah, when the flare drops out, by the time the fifth one is out, the first one should be significantly lower. So.
Right. And these things, actually, these gathering lights or whatever you'd like to call them, they've been happening a lot more lately. Like in the last 10, 15 years, they've been happening way too often.
Right. And in varied locations. I mean, I know that they happen a lot out. They seem to happen a lot around military installations. So let's just be honest. But now they seem to be happening all over the place, and even in places where there aren't a lot of military installations. So, it is a strange phenomenon.
There was the one where it was hovering over a cathedral and then shot straight up into the sky.
Right. Right.
I can't remember the name of that one. Again, I'm bad with names.
Now the second one, and I was going to throw it up real quick. We already kind of saw it. I'm going to take it down. This happened Sunny Slope, Phoenix, about 8 years ago. So it was about 20 years after the first one happened, but got almost no publicity at all. In fact, it was Pops who turned me on to it, and I did a little research on it. What has changed?
Military technology has gotten more dangerous. I think maybe something is out there saying you guys are getting too close to killing yourselves. Knock it off. Or maybe they're saying, yeah, go ahead and do it. We'll just take over when you're gone. I don't know. I'm not going to ask where you live in California because I don't want anybody knowing, where your address is. But you have Mount Shasta out there.
Right.
Which, if you know anything about this stuff, these flying lights, Mount Shasta is one of the big ones for it.
Like that's where isn't that right where the sighting of the original UFO that they called a flying saucer was, or is near that area? Something
I believe. Yeah. But there's often things seen going into the mountain, like not crashing and burning, but like as if it goes into said mountain.
I mean, I've heard things like that. You hear stuff and a lot of different things. You hear things about cattle mutilations, and that's another subject that we'll probably be talking about at some point. But then you also hear stuff like this, and this is kind of what I wanted to close on. We're going to keep it pretty tight here today. I think we've had a really good show, and you've had a busy day. But recently, Obama had an interview, and they asked him about UFOs, and he went right out and said, this is what I believe. He said, Area 51. Yeah, he said some stuff. And then basically confirming that UFOs were real and the aliens were real. And then they asked Trump, and Trump said he shouldn't have been saying that because it's classified, but I can't say one way or the other. So, and then he had that little look on his face, that little smirk, So I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know where to go on that, but I kind of wanted to ask you this question. It's like, what do you think of those two statements, on consecutive days? And then the third day after that, Trump orders Hegseth to declassify everything the military has about UAPs.
Yep. That's what got me. It was because his thing was it Obama that said when he gets in, he's gonna tell the world about UFOs, that kind of a thing. Yeah. And nothing ever happened. Now, did nothing ever happen because he was warned not to?
Right.
I don't know, but yeah, they know more than what they're telling us about a lot of things.
I definitely agree with that. So
yeah,
it's one of those situations. And here's the one part that drives me crazy. And okay, and I said we were going to end on that question, but we're really going to end on this question, everybody. Sorry. Here's the $1 million UFO question. And I put this on my Facebook feed, and I got some interesting answers. I've actually got people on both sides of this question. One of the reasons that they keep telling us, the quote unquote they keep telling us that they won't tell us about UFOs and stuff, is that it would cause worldwide panic. It would undermine religion. The economy would collapse and everything. I personally don't buy that at all. I don't understand. I don't think humanity is that fragile. It wouldn't impact my religion and everything. But I'm curious, what are your thoughts on that statement? So,
no, I don't think it would crumble. I mean, it would do it for some.
Right.
Like they wouldn't be confident enough to hold it, and that's the same people that would be fooled by Project Bluebeam, but that's a whole other topic.
Yeah.
If I were to put a rubber stamp on it, I don't think the UFOs are from space.
Okay.
I think the things we see as aliens are something else.
Okay.
That's where I'm going to leave that one until we get to the more broader story.
There's a little teaser for everybody. I have a couple questions, but I'm going to leave it out there for us to come back to another time. We're, you know, a smart girl wants to leave a little mystery for all of you. So there we go. Yeah. All right. I think that is a good place for us to wrap up a first debut episode of the CRoM Files. I hope you enjoyed it. Did you have fun?
Oh, always. Yep.
Awesome. I hope that all of you out there enjoyed it. Please, if you see us on social media or you see the Madness Entertainment Group, drop us a line on things that you would like us to cover. I mean, we know a lot of stuff, but we're always open to exploring new things. You know, one of the ones I hope we get to eventually is the dinosaurs that are living in Africa still, you know.
Oh, so, yeah.
We can get to that. So thank you for everybody who was watching. Thank you for everybody who was active in the chats. Please go check out the new Jake Bishop novel over on BackerKit, out now from Chris Brown. Check out Space Monkeys on Kickstarter, which is a mining thing. Also announcing that my novel is being re-released. It got picked up by a publisher. So
nice.
I'm going to be in bookstores and libraries, etc. in this year. So looking forward to that. I'm working on some other things that I will bring to light eventually. And on behalf of myself and Mr. Christopher Brown, the Laughing Rogue himself, we want to say goodbye from the Exorcist Files. And with that, CRoM is taking us out of here. Bye, everybody.
If you missed the live viewing of any Meg production, you can find all our content on Roku or as a member of this channel. Madness Entertainment Group.